All right. Welcome back, everyone. It is season 2 of SacVibes. Today is October 2nd, 2024. And if it's been too long, hi, it's me, Danielle Sousa, with the Community Engagement Team. However, another change is that it's not just going to be Lyndon and I, so I'm going to pass it to my right today so y'all can meet some additional folks.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me on Sac Vibes. My name is Ari Green. I'm also a part of the community engagement team, and I'm happy to be with y'all.
And I'm Lynette Hall. Thank you for coming back to season 2. We enjoyed season 1 and looking forward to some exciting things in season 2.
Yes, exciting.
Exciting.
And I'm Greg. I am the guy behind the board, no longer behind the board. I'm in front of the board, in front of the camera. Part of the CE team.
A promotion.
I am the...
Promotion with no money. We love those.
I am the all-purpose jack of all trades for the CE team.
That's our DJ,
Yes.
too. Go, DJ.
For those of you
That's
that
my
are
DJ.
listening, I am doing this thing with my fingers. I don't know. What do you call this?
Evil planning.
We're trying to get a good
Evil
name
planning
for him.
fingers.
DJ Greg, DJ G Money.
No G money, no.
No G Money.
X-nay on the G money A.
Okay.
But, you know,
Hit us on social media. Let us know what we need to call Greg.
It's been a hot minute, since we've gathered here. Since season 1.
It's still hot, though, too.
Yeah, no, literally. The city just opened our cooling centers again
Yeah.
In October.
in October.
I love it. This is my weather. I'm thriving. Like, come on, 100 degree.
I kind of don't want it to go away.
Yeah.
I don't want it to be too cold.
I'll like the cold for like a day, and then I'll be like,
Yeah,
it's too
right?
cold.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, y'all. I'm ready to turn on the fireplace.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
How you going to turn on the fireplace?
Party foul. Where's the button?
The first hype. I have a hype button now. You like that?
And do.
But for some of our new listeners, just a reminder, community engagement, relatively new at the city. We've been around almost 5 years now, but it was a new team really started to bridge the gap with our underserved communities. So our sole purpose is to create and design effective outreach and engagement strategies. And I want to reiterate effective outreach strategies. So our motto is, if it's safe to try, let's do it. And if it doesn't work, let's stop and do something different. So the podcast was one of the things that popped up. Shout out to Greg for coming up with the idea of doing a podcast. Yeah. Because we want to make sure that folks get information how they best receive it. So some people like going to council, and I'll talk a little bit about that later. Some people like reading emails. Some folks like coming to our mixers. We'll talk a little bit about that as well. But we just want to make sure we do radio. We do all kind of creative stuff to make sure that the information is getting to you, because resources and opportunities are only as good as knowing about them. So our job is to make sure that you know about the resources and opportunities at the city of Sacramento.
And let me just say, because I totally forgot, since I'm also rusty, typically whenever we start our podcasts, we'll say, we're the community engagement team. We're here to educate, engage, and empower.
Absolutely.
And yeah, I mean, that's why we're here.
sorry,
I'm
I
glad
like
that you
doing
started
that.
with that, because I was like, dang, I need to say it, but I did.
We're
I
gonna put Greg on timeout from the button. He's gonna be on timeout for like 5 minutes.
This is going to be all the button for like the first episode.
So typically we do a council update, but I have been traveling work related, and so I did not go to council last night. But there was some really important things. I know I did not go. But what happened was our planning department presented an interim ordinance on broadening the range of housing types permitted in the city around single unit and duplex dwelling zones. And so it's also known as missing middle housing. And so we are super excited about that. I just came back from the California American Planning Association conference in Riverside. I did do a workshop on community engagement and how government intersects with agencies, nonprofits, and other community-based organizations. And We also had our planning director and our assistant planning director also doing workshops. And one of the things that they were presenting on is missing middle housing. And it's something that no one else, I believe, in the country is doing. And a lot of the things that we're doing in Sacramento around eliminating single-family zoning, eliminating parking minimum requirements is huge. And we are kind of looked at as kind of best practices for other cities to take on. And
a guiding light, if you will.
We are. And so it was like, we were like celebrities in the planning world, like, go City of Sacramento. Our planning department also won a big, huge award for our general plan 2040 update. And so it was just really great to see the planning department being recognized for all of the great stuff and innovative things that they're doing. So,
real quick, for those that are listening and might not know, what is middle housing?
So missing middle housing is housing. It's a range of housing. So before you just had like single family housing, and this is the missing middle, like folks that don't want to have just a single family. Maybe you want to have a duplex or a quadplex. And I'm all about generational wealth. And so I wish my first purchase would have been like a quadplex or a duplex where I could live on one side and rent out the other side and get some income, right? And so we want to make sure you hear about, low income and affordable housing, but what about that missing housing for working folks that are looking to build some generational wealth? And so.
Word. So what is that ordinance that they passed? What does it do for the rest of the city then? What does that mean?
Didn't I tell you I didn't go to council last night?
Well, hold on. I got a question, though, and I don't think this has to do with council.
I don't work in the planning department, Greg. I told you I was on an airplane last night. I did not get an opportunity to go. And then you're going to put me on blast. Won't you tell me what the hell missing middle housing is?
So this might look a little sus on my part, but I want to know, and maybe there are people who are listening who also might not know the definition, but like, what is an ordinance and what does that mean, I guess, for us? If, one gets
I might have used
enacted.
the wrong word. Was it an ordinance?
It was an ordinance.
Okay, I got it right.
So
but what is it? I don't know.
But I don't know if this is copyright. The only reason why I know the word ordinance is because it was used in an Animal Crossing game. So.
Shout out to the pandemic. Animal Crossing. So an ordinance, I would say, and for city's sake, it is an adjustment to an already, it's the city, any city, but the city of Sacramento operates on a code for their planning. And so in order to make an adjustment to that code, you have to add an ordinance in order, so it's a policy to make an adjustment.
Oh, it's like an amendment.
It's an amendment. That's
Okay.
right. That's right.
Cool. I hope I'm not the only one who learned that today.
So I learned a lot when it comes to planning. I knew nothing about planning before I came to the city, and I get an opportunity to work really closely with planning. And one of the things is that this is one of the most probably important industries that are out there, and you don't see people that look like us.
Absolutely.
So I just came back from a conference of over 2,000 people, and I think I saw maybe 2 other people that look like me.
Oh my God.
Out of 2,000. Right. White, male-dominated industry.
That's right.
Wow.
And these are folks that are planning how our neighborhoods look, where our freeways are, where they're not, where parks are located, how tall buildings or houses can be in your neighborhoods. And we're not involved. It's like when I was in college trying to figure out what I wanted to do, planning was not something that I thought about.
Yeah.
And now that I've had an opportunity to work with our amazing planners, now when I travel to different countries and different cities, I think I'm a planner because I'm always looking at, well, why is the freeway exit on that side? And why is the park here? And why do they allow this? And, and so it's a very, very interesting field. And I really wish more people and people of color would actually consider it as something to do with their lives because it's super interesting. You got transportation planners, you got environmental planners, you have traditional long range people that look at how your city will look in 20 years from now. And then you have like short-term planners, right?
Where does the transportation stuff go in terms of, is that long-term too?
Active transportation? I don't know.
Like when you do the bike paths and stuff, because I'm a biker.
You gonna make me a planner? I just said I do community engagement. You're asking me. You're asking me all these technical questions.
We gotta have the planners come on here one day.
We gotta ask the planners.
I know.
Where's Elizabeth Boyd when you need her?
I think it's like both, because I feel like I don't know her real name. I just know her as JDW. But
that's just her name, yeah.
Pie in the face. One of the things we do here, if you say an acronym including someone's initials and you don't explain, it's pie in the face.
I'm like, but
Jennifer Donlin Wyatt.
Okay, see, I knew her last name, but I didn't know her first name. That's
What's
crazy.
her title? She's
a transportation planner.
Transportation planner.
But then we have what's his name? Who does Truxell Bridge?
Sparky.
That's an acronym too? No.
He's more long range, and I would say that JDW is more like present day, like current range.
Okay.
Oh. Okay. Good to know.
You got some more planning questions?
I was just asking. My goodness.
I can't answer. This is like, why are you coming with all these hard questions?
You are
what
ice
is
grilling
it?
her, though.
I'm trying to think of the people that are listening.
I thought it was interesting.
That are driving right now.
We
Like,
were
what
at
is
a
a
meeting
planner?
once, and you know how usually they have like the parking lot where you put like your questions, and someone was like, actually, let's make it the bike rack.
Ooh.
The bike rack.
Or,
Hey.
yeah.
Okay.
To be more inclusive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? The bike
Very
rack.
cool.
So the parking lot. Yeah, that's a good one. I like that.
I do like that.
Yeah.
So what are some of the changes you're making on the podcast this season, Greg?
Tell us.
Well, we have sections now. We
Okay.
have our
We
intro.
finna pay for a section.
Oh, we
Pay
got
for
bottle
it.
service? What are you
Right.
doing what are
Oh,
you
my
talking about
goodness.
a section? We got bottle service? What are we talking about?
VIP section.
Exactly.
I just
Hold
came
on,
back from
man.
Vegas, but
in Atlanta.
wow.
Yeah.
No bottle service here, unfortunately.
Okay.
It's
It's not in the budget.
budget times.
Okay.
Budget
Bottles are the first to
bottle
go.
service. Water bottles. Hey, where's my water bottle?
No,
Here's
we
your
don't
bottle
do
service
water
right
bottles because we're
Okay.
about sustainability. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
That's
Yeah,
sustainability. is-
Okay,
is
that's
water
good.
bottles,
I thought
right?
you meant like the plastic water bottles.
Oh no.
Okay.
Those are
'Cause
unsustainable.
that's so last year. We're
Yeah.
trying to meet our climate goals.
What else we have? We want more time for a discussion. So if we have a guest, then we talk with the guest. If we don't have a guest, then we talk amongst ourselves. And then we also have topics of the day. So we might have questions that we talk about. Hopefully we'll get some questions from all you guys out there in the audience or listening in, and we can respond to questions like that. So
because we have some new listeners and they may not know us, can you guys talk a little bit about what you all work on specifically in community engagement? Because everybody works on different things. So if you could talk a little bit about some of the things that you currently are working on. Do you want to continue, Greg?
sure. So for me, I do social media. So I run our Instagram page. I do a lot of reels. I
Which
do
is
flyers.
phenomenal.
Thank you.
Follow us.
Yeah, follow us on social media. I just did a reel about the cooling centers that open. And just when you thought summer was over, surprise, surprise. I got to use a surprise lady.
Surprise.
I've been wanting to use her for like a whole year, and I didn't have a good opportunity. So
This is it.
I can now die in peace. What else do? I help plan like events, like if there's events happening, and help people get sponsorships for their events that haven't been sponsored by the city before to get some recognition. And basically other things as listed. What's the as duties as needed?
Additional duties as needed.
Yeah, there's a lot more stuff. I do help with
Absolutely.
the Office of Economic Development's small business team, helping them promote services out there. Our Forward Together work, which is on Del Paso. And soon Stockton Boulevard will be doing that as well. So that's me in a nutshell. Oh, and this podcast.
So basically, you do creative direction, and
Oh, I like that. Creative direction.
absolutely,
I'm a creative.
you are.
I'm a peacock. I have to fly.
So you mentioned a couple planning. We talk about a lot about planning, even though I'm not a planner. But you mentioned Forward Together, which is a planning project a specific and action plan on Marysville, Del Paso. And so that was adopted by council. There are grants that are available. So I am actually in the process of reviewing a number of collaborative grants.
Got the collaborative ones.
And then also some of the smaller action grants. I haven't even gotten to the action grants, but we had over 20 large collaborative grants. And
Wow,
these are
that's good.
That is good.
yeah, these are the collaborative grants are grants that were centered between 100 and 500,000 with multiple entities or organizations. So it's not just one organization applying, it's organizations that work together that had the same vision, kind of same ideas, and all of the things that they are asking for money for has to relate directly to the plan. So this is a plan that was community led. And so we want to make sure that we have implementation funds to support the planning efforts, but that the efforts are something that is embraced by community. And so it'll be interesting. So far, there's been some really, really great proposals, and it's going to be hard.
Okay, that's good.
Because we have a limited amount of money.
Yeah.
And we have millions of dollars in ask. So it's going to be different. But this is the first time that the city has ever done a planning effort and had implementation grants to support it.
Yeah.
Because how traditional planning happens is they go out, spend a bunch of money on plans, asking community and people, hey, what do you want? And they put it in this plan, and then it just sits on a shelf.
Yep.
Because there's no money to
Collect
actually
interest,
implement. So
And people are like, wait, what about all that stuff you asked us for?
and
You
we're
asked
like, we
us
don't have
like-
any money for it. Sorry.
Or they'd be like, you asking us again?
Yeah. So
And, I mean, like, who knows? Like, if the projects that are born out of this are super successful, like, this is just the pilot.
Yeah.
So, you know, a lot more things could come out of this. Maybe maybe in the future, the pot of money could be bigger because there's like a proven success rate or something like that.
Well, we're
so-
already seeing that we've had some of our partners piggyback off of what we're doing. And so the city released $700,000 in implementation grants. And just recently, Golden One put $1 million towards grants specifically for the same area that we're working on.
Wow.
And those grants, I think, are just for nonprofits.
Yeah.
Which is a little bit different than our grants because you can be a nonprofit, you could be a business or individual. But so essentially, because of our plan, it's $1.7 million
Yeah.
that will be infused in the District 2,
Yeah.
Marysville, Del Paso. So that's huge.
And most of it's supposed to be kind of meant to be seed money, right? So that organizations
Seed
or
money?
entities, yeah, they get initial funding and then to attract other funding to come in
okay.
later on. Like
Well-
maybe getting a federal grant or...
It's a little bit of both. Like we as the Neighborhood Development Action Team, we want to fund projects that there is action.
Yeah.
And so we are looking at
those are the
supporting.
quick wins, right?
Yeah, we are looking at supporting to actually see stuff happening where people can see the impact that our grants are having on that district. And so it's a little bit beyond. We're also hoping that, you know, it'd be great if folks can take this money and leverage it to other funding opportunities, but we also want to be able to use the funding where people can actually see some stuff happening right now.
Yeah.
Right.
Like the facade improvements, right? We just
Yeah.
invested a lot of money in facade improvements along those corridors in the north area.
So I know I was supposed to introduce myself, but I'm not going to leave my teammates hanging here. So
Who's next?
who's next to talk about what they do?
You are.
Me? Okay.
You are.
I was voluntold, but it's okay. Let's see. I also do communications with Greg. Greg does more of the social media. I guess I do more of like we do a communications toolkit. And essentially what that is, it's a big like running document of city programs, funding opportunities, resources that we want to share with our partners, community members, etc. And the reason why I think this is so cool is because it has ready to copy and paste content. And so if you're running like a social media page like Facebook or Instagram, that content is already ready for you to post. If y'all are like me, I sometimes marinate on a caption for a really long time, but this takes like 99% of the work out of it, because you got the caption, you got the links, you got photos, if those are included. So love that. And not only that, but it's also a cool way for us to share partner programs. So it's not just city resources, right? We often get requests from other community-based organizations, maybe other like local government entities, to share the cool programs that they're running. And so I'm glad that we're able to help promote in that way. I also do advertising. And so because the community engagement team is, dedicated to making sure that information and resources are shared with, communities that are disadvantaged, low income, we do try to create partnerships with media groups that specifically focus on these populations. So whether that's like Spanish-speaking radio, we have a contract with like Sacramento's LGBTQ plus magazine. Let's see, what else? We also partner with the Black Chamber of Commerce's radio station. Yes. Yeah, it's a lot of cool stuff. And so if y'all know of any local news stations, publications, and y'all think they would be a good partner to have, please let me know in the comments. I'm always looking for more opportunities. And
What about City Connect?
yes, City Connect. That's our mixer series. I know like the term mixer has been bounced around, and who knows, maybe a bunch of you have already gone to them. But once a month, every third Thursday, we try to host a mixer where community members can come and meet city staff. And this is just a cool way to get to know us outside of City Hall, right? I think in season 1, we kind of talked about how we want to grow the interactions and the perception that is often held about like local government workers, because we don't want you to think that you only see us when something bad is happening, like if you're in City Hall to pay a fine or something. Like there is a large range of responsibilities and personalities and people who are here at City Hall.
And we have lives of our own.
Yeah,
Like
we do.
We're human people.
Like, I don't know. Maybe you wouldn't know that I like to stream video games. That's me on the side. But yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff, cool people. And not only that, but I think it's a good opportunity to, like, if you ever have questions about anything specific, like, oh, where do I go if I want more resources for my small business? Or who do I talk to if, I want to share my input on what I think should go on the empty lot next to my house? This is a good place to come meet those people. You can put faces to names that you might have seen floating on the internet.
And it's informal too, right? So
yeah, informal.
you don't need to worry about
music
formalities.
from G Money or whatever your
No,
pending
G
name
Money.
is.
Didn't wanna
No
do
G
that.
Money. Okay. DJ Greg, placeholder for now.
Yes.
We have music. We always have free food. My favorite. Yeah, it's always
Everybody
free
love free
entry.
food,
Yeah,
y'all.
but
And
come
Danielle,
early.
Danielle
because
picks the food. And
The mixers have been
Really good.
super popular. We've been averaging 75 to 125 people
Yeah.
a month.
we had one near the water.
We did have one near the water.
We
was
had
nice.
one
Arguably
in the water.
water.
in
Yeah.
the water.
that was
was
the
in the
pool
water.
mixer.
We had one with
So your families
about
could come
animals.
too, is what we're saying.
Yes, it is family friendly.
Sometimes.
People probably thought the city wouldn't throw a pool party, but community
Yeah.
engagement.
I
does.
have gotten some comments like that, like, "Wow, it's a pool party. That's so interesting. Weird, but interesting." And I was like,
Yeah, I didn't
mean,
think people would swim, but they did.
Yeah,
I'm like, okay.
I was very happy about that. The kids were swimming. I was like,
Yeah.
love
So
that.
last month was cool. We were at
Stoney's.
Stoney's Rockin' Rodeo. And shout out, one of the things that we always do is support small business with our mixers. So we always hold them at a small business or bring in food from a small business. And the food was amazing. I feel really bad to the team because they have a special on ribeye. and it's $12 on Thursday, and they're laughing because they know why.
I was gonna mention if we could talk about that. Like, is that free
Oh my God.
advertising or what is that?
It was good. I have to say that it's good.
It was good.
So, oh my gosh, so I feel bad. So I had ordered
You got one?
Let her
6.
explain.
I ordered 6. I put 6 on hold for us. And they were like, just let us know when you want us to start making them, but we'll put it in the system as a whole because they have a limited amount. Because it's $12 for a ribeye, garlic mashed potatoes, and a vegetable. I think it was zucchini. It was really, really good. Roasted zucchini. And towards the end of the night, I'm like, we're ready for our 6. And they come back. They're like,
Actually,
we only have 2. And my team was so nice. They let me take the 2. So I got the 2. And it was hella good. Oh my gosh. So my daughter has to take food to school. And so she ate one that night and then she took mine. So I actually didn't get to eat all of it.
But she said it was good.
I tried
said
it.
I have
I it was hella good.
8th
It
grader
was,
out here eating ribeyes at school.
oh my gosh.
For lunch.
That must be nice.
Must be nice.
You didn't need any steak
No
sauce.
PB&J.
That's how you know when you don't need steak sauce. It
Oh,
was
yeah.
just.
I don't like steak sauce.
Yeah, I don't like steak
So-
sauce either.
So I highly recommend Stoney's. They have specials almost every night of the week. I think they do a prime rib. They do a rib
I think they do a prime rib Fridays.
Yeah,
And
so
they do just cool stuff. Like that Thursday night was salsa night. If we have any salsa dancers
That's
in the
right.
chat.
I
know.
did it. I did
Who,
a
I was
little.
about to say, who was over there dancing?
Me.
While we're on the topic of mixer, let's talk about our upcoming one. When is it going to be again? What date
October
is it?
October
17th.
17th. Yeah.
5:30.
We're not
It's going to
sure
be our
where
last
yet.
mixer of the year.
Last mix of the year.
So
Yeah.
come turn up.
We'll be on Stockton Boulevard.
Stockton Boulevard. Talking about the Stockton Boulevard plan.
And the implementation grants. 'Cause
More money.
When we do a plan, we got
give
some money.
some-
Wait. Sorry. Can you
We
say
gonna
that
make
again?
it rain.
Because you turned around from the mic. The
Okay.
implementation.
Implementation grants. So
Okay.
whenever we do a
I
plan,
missed
we
it.
have implementation grants. So we will be making it rain on Stockton Boulevard.
So pull up on us. Come,
Pull
Here.
up on us.
come see
Free
us.
food, as always.
Free food.
Free vibes.
Fun
So
people.
what not to want? Like you get free food. We're cool.
Good
you get to meet city
music.
staff. Good music.
Mm-hmm.
And implementation dollars.
Sounds
Learn
like
about
a
the money
win-win.
coming out. Meet the people that are administering the processes,
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
right?
And we'll have planners there. So all these hard ass questions that Greg had for me, I hope he writes them down and saves them for the planners that will be there on the 17th.
I'm going to be DJing. I'm sorry.
And you be in your zone.
Yeah.
I'll email them to you prior to the event.
Yeah. So, and something else super cool coming up. Danielle mentioned small businesses, and I started talking about small business. At the end of this month, we're going to council with a new small business program. It's a $2 million program for all kind of programs and services to help support small business. So that will be October 29th. We're going to council for that. So super excited about anytime we have an opportunity to support small businesses.
That's
Yeah,
near
nice.
Halloween. I think we're going to have a Halloween podcast, too.
Ooh.
We should come in
Get
costume.
I want to
spooky.
dress up.
When's Halloween?
Thursday, October
Oh,
31.
it's Thursday.
We're not going to be at work, but we can do like something.
We can do Wednesday.
But before
You
we
guys see
go,
my costume?
I know I'm excited. But before we go too deep into things, I wanted to give Ari a chance to
Oh, no. It's okay.
talk
Yeah.
about.
Yeah.
I got voluntold now.
Sign
it's your
up
turn.
for Toolkit Tuesdays every first Tuesday. And come to our City Connect mixer on Thursdays.
Yeah.
Every
And-
third Thursday. Sorry, my bad.
So what do you do, Ari? Tell me. Tell us.
I show up and I support my team.
You're just here so you don't get fined.
I'm just here so I don't get Where's my Marshawn Lynch link? No, hi everyone. I'm Ari. I am the latest to join the CE team. Super excited. I am here for supports and with my planning background to provide a historical aspect to our team. Super technical work, sometimes not fun work, but necessary work. I am filling in for one of my colleagues with the City Management Academy and the Community Ambassador Program. So be ready for those applications to open again for the next cohort.
What's the Community Ambassador Program? Is that the award-winning program?
We do have a national award-winning city community ambassador program. So the community ambassador program, it is a language and cultural justice program. And so the idea of the program is to obviously meet people where they are, but also as an opportunity to get information and resources to people in the language that they shall choose. And so we have cohorts of 18 and we give them a stipend for their work. And so we disseminate information to them, and it is our hope that they would also go back to their communities and give information as well and spread the information.
So for this podcast vlog, Ari is our fact checker, Lynette.
Okay.
And since you have the planning background, I'm hoping you'll answer the questions that I ask, the hardline planning questions.
Yeah, he was ice grilling.
Yeah, I mean,
I got you.
But the Community Ambassador Program, that's one of the programs I'm most proud of because, as we talked about, we create and design effective outreach and engagement strategies. It's also important to acknowledge that we don't know everything, and different cultures receive information differently.
That's right.
And so it's an opportunity for us to learn from different cultures what's the best way to outreach and engage with their communities. Some of the things that we've learned over the last couple of years is that translations are a good way to check the box, but it doesn't necessarily move the needle. You have some languages that have historically been passed down orally, and so a lot of them don't read the language. You have a lot of folks in our Hmong community. We have a large Hmong community. Shout out to our first Hmong city council member, Mai Vang, who's super supportive of the Community Ambassador Program. But a lot of folks that are Hmong, they don't read the language. And so translating something, you're still not going to reach folks like you want to reach. Or, you know, I've spoken English all my life, but Greg is asking me these planning questions, and I'm like, I don't know.
It's a different language.
And so just imagine trying to explain technical things in a different language, and you don't have the technical expertise. And so it's a great way for us to engage. Like another thing we learned, the term community. In a lot of our Middle Eastern languages and in Vietnamese, even the term community does not translate.
That's right.
So when you say, we're having a community listening session, can you translate community listening sessions? What does that mean? It doesn't translate, right? And so it's a way for us to, it's a two-way conversation for us to share what we're doing at the city, but also for us to hear what's happening in their communities. So I'm super proud of that.
And also adding like how people like to receive their information. Like we have an ambassador. They make sure that we don't forget that older generations like flyers versus receiving e-communications. And so just learning things like that also allows us to tailor how we push out information to the community. So we know that some of our community or some of our age groups will prefer an email or a list, an e-list, or a listserv. And then we know that some of our older, our age-friendly groups, they will want a flyer or they want something in their mailbox.
they're missing out on all my good real jokes.
They are.
We need to hire somebody to explain the reels to them.
To explain the rules, yeah.
This is an old lady.
Yeah,
She says surprise, surprise.
And
Yeah.
they probably know the show too.
yeah.
All right.
So that's been super exciting. And then City Management Academy, which is happening right now. Ari is managing that, and that's a 10-week program that teaches city residents or business owners in the city of Sacramento how the city functions. Sacramento is a little bit different from places like LA, which are a mayor-council-led city, and we are a city manager-led city. And the difference is our city manager is responsible for hiring and firing all of the department heads, police chiefs, fire chiefs, our assistant city managers. But the checks and the balances are, he has 9 bosses. He has the 8 council members and the mayor. So at any given week, he could be fired, right?
Oh.
So, yeah. And
Interesting.
what's also super unique in Sacramento is our city manager, Howard Chan, has been a city manager for a good amount of time. I want to say maybe 7 to 9 years. And typically in city manager fields, people move around after like 3 to 5 years.
Oh, wow.
And he has been at
If I
the
had
city.
9 bosses, I'd probably move around.
But it just it goes to show of his commitment and support here in Sacramento. I believe he's been in the city of Sacramento majority of his career.
Yeah.
He started out as a parking manager. So he went from parking manager to an interim assistant city manager and then to city manager. So, and that's all been at the city of Sacramento, which is
Wow.
unheard
I
of.
mean, he knows the ins and outs then.
Yeah, he does. He does. So, and he likes Sacramento. So
Yeah.
that's super cool too.
Very important.
Yeah.
Kinda, yeah. You gotta like
But-
the city you live in.
You know, another thing I'm excited too about is that it's not just us popping up on the podcast today. So I wanted to give, I guess, like a little transition for one of our segments, which is going to be the tip of the month from our transportation friends.
Yeah, we'll have a few tips of the month. Sometimes it'll be from active transportation folks. Melissa Maganzo, the
Yes.
artist in residence from the transportation team, did these great segments for us. And we'll also be having tips from the small business team for economic development. So here is our tip of the month.
Oh, hey, y'all. Guess what? It's time for Tip of the Month. Hey, y'all. It's me again, Melissa Maganzo, and I'm here with another Tip of the Month. And this Tip of the Month is focused on walking. The month of October every year is Walktober. And the city of Sacramento celebrates that in the form of adding more walking into our walking trails, adding walk to our work and school routes, and then also thinking about ways we can incorporate walking as a form of exercise. So do yourself a favor and participate in Walktober and incorporate more walking into your life. Don't forget to subscribe to our newsletter and feel free to check us out next time. Peace.
And that was Melissa. This is our tip of the month.
So what was cool about this was a pilot project. It was a grant that we received, Creative Corps grant, which provided funding for artists to be placed in city departments full time. So they were City of Sacramento staff. They were here for about 10 months.
Yeah.
And just a creative way to try to figure out how can we better leverage and use art as another way of reaching out and engaging with folks. And so she did a great job, just brought a lot of energy and excitement and creative ideas. Thank you, Arts and Culture, for giving us the artists.
Yes. And
Appreciate
thank
that.
you, everyone.
Can you believe our time is up?
I know. I was actually just going to say, where's our wow wow button? We don't have one.
Oh, we don't have
Don't press
that.
the hype button. It's
No.
not hype right now. We're sad because we have to say goodbye. But it's okay because we'll be back with another episode. And so please follow us on social media. Let's see. It's going to be on, the bottom of your screen. But for those listening, it's at CE Team SAC. We're on Instagram. We're on Facebook. And if you want the latest on what we're up to and what the city is offering, definitely shoot us a follow.
We are also on YouTube now.
Yeah, and Spotify.
And Spotify, if you're listening to us from Spotify.
Yeah.
Thank you.
When are we getting on TikTok? That's what I want to know.
TikTok.
Well, I think I got permission for that, so that might be coming. So watch
Okay.
out for
Really?
that. Yes.
All right.
Yeah, say bye, everyone.
Free us from the peace sign.
What?